Now that you've bought your delay pedal, you know what the knobs do, and you have the subdivisions working for you, it's time to get into that age-old debate of tape delay or digital delay. Let's go. Right now, using one delay type over the other isn't going to be the thing that kills your tone. Heck, your delay pedal may even only have one of these types. And I think the bigger trump card of all of these things is that tape delays for the most part now are just digital emulations anyway. But nevertheless, guitarists love debating this, like this is the reason this dude's on the arena gig and you're not. So let's dive into it because I want to up your tone another 10 to 15%. If you're looking for a simple answer of which delay type is better, I'm not gonna make you wait. It's tape delay. It's far superior in almost every application. There you have it. For the rest of us, let's continue. Let's start with digital. Digital delays are supposed to be perfect recreations of what we're playing. Meaning, whatever note you play and the tone you played it with, it gets echoed back to you exactly as it was X number of times. Now, you might be saying like, hey Justin, isn't that the whole point of delay? Well, yes and no. If we're just trying to create repeats, especially repeats that we want to hear, then yes, digital delays are fantastic. They're glassy, chimey, and they do really well when we want a prominent delay sound, such as a dotted eighth delay. But now let's advance beyond the dude at Guitar Center who's playing his Boss DD20000 pedal. No offense if you're a Boss delay user, they're great pedals, I used to have one too. Anyway, I want you to start thinking of delay more as a texture than an effect. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to create music and not delay. The tape delay is basically a darker and more modulated version of the digital delay. Back in the day, they had to use real tape machines to create this effect, so it would record what you play and then the tape would roll back at a specified rate to create the repeats. It was wonky and wild and just freaking
musical magic.
Now we have digital emulations of this, and some of them are honestly really good. Anyway, what I'm about to tell you could still be perfectly applicable to your digital delay. With the strymon timeline, it has the same controls across each delay type, and your pedal might too. Before the strymon mafia comes after me, I know some of these knobs change function with the different delay types.
It's a general statement.
The whole point is, turn the knobs until they sound good. You have a lot of parameters, so you can probably make a lot of different delay types sound like a tape delay, a digital delay, whatever. Also worth noting, plugin delays are fantastic now. I use the Valhalla delay on just about everything I record, including the last 2 delay videos. So if you like those delay tones, you should check out this plugin. It's $50 and it's amazing. As mentioned, tape delays tend to be a darker, warmer sound, which is really great with how much digital everything we run our guitars through nowadays. I mean, we got
fake guitars, fake amps, fake strings, fake pedals, fake everything.
And it's not that any of these things are necessarily bad, but one thing I've noticed with guitarists who use a lot of digital emulations is that their tone can sound a little thin and shrill. So having a warmer delay sound, even if it is coming from a digital pedal, just in the background of what we're playing can help tame some of this out and add a little more life. Plus the glitchiness of these digital tape delays can be kind of cool. I wouldn't freak out about those warbles. It adds life and it adds character in a positive way. Now let's play with the color of the delay. My favorite delay sound is dark, but yours might be bright. It doesn't matter, we're just gonna learn how to dial it in. Your delay pedal might have a filter knob or even a high pass and low pass filter. The whole point is, it's similar to a tone knob on an amp. Generally, I'm gonna say that again.
Generally.
Because I know the strymon's different, we're gonna get to that in a second. If you turn the filter up, your repeats get brighter, as if you were turning a tone knob up. And if you turn the filter down, your repeats get darker. There are good uses for both sounds. Thinner repeats will help you cut through a mix more, but don't give you quite as much depth. And then darker repeats will give you a lot of depth and space, but it'll definitely push you back in the mix. So you gotta find that sweet spot or, adjust based off the sound you're trying to create. Now for all the strymon users out there, this knob is kind of confusing. Essentially, when the filter knob is all the way to the left or off, that means there is no EQ curve on the delay. I.e., whatever delay you have dialed up, be it digital or tape, you're hearing it as the algorithm thinks it should be heard, or at least in its standard form. On a tape delay, it sounds kind of brighter to my ear in this position. Then we turn right, which in my head seems like it should be getting brighter, but it's actually going to get darker. So as you approach 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock will actually give you the darkest repeats. And then if that wasn't enough, as you go past 2 o'clock, it starts getting thinner and brighter again. However your knobs work doesn't really matter. It just matters that you play with them to figure out what they're doing. And almost more effective is just turn it until it sounds good. I think sometimes we get so caught up in this does this and this does that, so we turn things and we're like, well, that looks right or that looks too extreme. Don't worry about it. Just start turning it, and then when it sounds good, roll with it. That's the secret. You don't need to know what you're doing. Just listen. And now for the real magic, modulation.
Please, 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 please.
Modulate your delays. That subtle pull on the intonation adds life and depth and width to the repeats and the character of your playing. And no, this is not the same as hitting your delay pedal with a chorus pedal. This is more subtle, more of a sparkle, if you will. Anyway, the typical modulation controls you see on a tape delay are called wow and flutter, which is really confusing. And I wouldn't even worry about what that means. No matter what pedal you're using, if you have a modulation control or controls, all you really need to do is turn them all the way up, just one at a time if you have multiple, and you'll hear what it's doing to your pedal, and then you can dial from there. Some of us are given a magical gift of, instead of calling it wow and flutter, rate and depth. Much easier to understand. Rate is the speed at which the intonation changes, and depth is the basically percentage of the effect you want to hear. So you turn the depth up to get a lot of that modulation, and you turn the rate up to make it. If you think of it like a snake, right? Let's say the modulation is slow and moves like this, and as you turn that rate up, the modulation is going to be fast. Like I said, turn that knob all the way up and you'll hear the difference and you'll find that spot. And if you're using a timeline, don't get fooled. It is not what it seems. Rate and depth are not rate and depth.
Woohoo.
Rate actually controls the crinkle of the tape delay. Depth controls both wow and flutter. Once again, I'm just going to bring it back to the filter knob. Don't get so caught up in what the knobs do. Just start turning them, and then when it sounds good to you, roll with it. That's the best advice I could give you. My go-to setting is a subtle amount of each. I have the rate at like 20 to 30% and the depth in a similar area. I usually don't like to have crazy modulation on my delays, but just enough that you do notice it. And I've gotten comments about it before where people are like, whoa, I like the modulation on your delay, and it's so second nature to me now that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I dialed that in. So that was a lot of talking. Now let's do some listening. Here's the same part with a unfiltered, untouched digital delay sound, and then with our modulated and filtered tape delay sound. See what you like better. for me, the tape delay sound is so much better. I like the warmth and I like the depth and the character it adds to the playing. I don't have the right word to describe it, but it almost sounds more real, whatever that even means. But I just know that I like it and it's more pleasing to my ear. But if you like the sound of the digital delay more, then you're not wrong. Use it. It's all taste. All this tone stuff is taste. Thank you so much for watching this video and for hanging with me in this delay series. I feel like you should have a pretty solid foundation to make the delay tones of your dreams. If you missed any of the other videos in this series, they're on my channel. I would so love it if you check it out. And going forward, I know there's a lot more to talk about with delay, but I want to know exactly what it is you're wondering about. And we'll start getting into some really deep scientific, if you could call any of this science stuff. All right, be sure to like, comment below, and if you're new to the channel, I would love it if you subscribed, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.